Hey y'all, what's up? It's your girl Adina, and I'm back, y'all, with another video. So this is actually an interesting video and topic. So basically, I'm going to be talking about why women have periods. Why women have periods. Now, I know some of y'all are probably thinking like, ew, but the reason why I'm doing this video is because a woman's period is natural, you know what I mean? And it's part of the female and what she has to go through every month. Now, it's not because of science, it's not because of Mother Nature or how the world, reasons why women have periods. It's actually way deeper than that, and it's actually spiritual. It is very deep and spiritual. Now, most females have periods. There are certain women that can't have periods, and those are related to certain medical factors or age, as to where they go through menopause. And menopause is when you don't get a period anymore. But almost every female that's born, they have to have a period. Now, most women that I know, like 99% of women, hate having periods. You know what I mean? And growing up, like me being a female, I used to be like, why do we have periods? Like, what's the point of this? Like, this sucks. Like, it really, really sucks. And if you're a female, you know how much periods suck. Like, no female likes going through a period at all. No female likes going through a period at all. So, basically, the reason why we have periods is because of Eve. Eve from the Bible is the reason why we have periods. Eve sinning in the Garden of Eden is why we have periods. So if you have your Bibles, and you should, I just don't have mine. I have mine on my phone though. All this is lined out in Genesis 3. So Genesis 3 is basically Eve and Adam disobeying God's command, and God punished them. He gave Adam and Eve separate punishments and curses, from being disobedient. So all this is in Genesis 3, and I'm going to read some of it to you. Okay, so I'm not going to read all of Genesis 3, but I'm going to read the part where it basically tells you and us why women have periods. So I'm reading the King James Version Bible, KJV. So starting on Genesis 3:16. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. So this whole paragraph alone just outlines the multiple curses upon Eve for her disobedience. Okay, there's multiple curses that God placed on Eve, aka all females that come after Eve. Okay, so this is not only on Eve, but all the females that will come after Eve. These curses apply to all women. So basically, God said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. So that also answers why we go through pain when we have children. Before Eve sinned, you could just pop out babies, and not feel pain. It was just, you have the baby and you're done. But now, because of Eve's disobedience, we have to go through contractions, and we have to go through all this pain and crying, bearing children and having children. So that's one curse. And also another curse, I guess, was, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. So basically, God made Adam the head after this. God made Adam over Eve, which means he made man over woman, or male over female. So this was where God, made that order, male and then female. So yeah, that's basically why we females have periods. Now, Genesis 3 is so powerful. There's actually a lot of messages that are in Genesis 3, but Genesis 3 is basically about Eve and Adam's disobedience in the Garden of Eden, and also the curses and the punishments that they had to suffer, that God placed on them because of their disobedience. Genesis 3 shows the curses that God placed on females, aka Eve, and the curses that God placed on males, aka Adam. And this whole chapter also shows why we die and why we can't live forever. You know what I mean? Sin is why we can't live forever and why all of us have to die. So Adam and Eve's sin is why humans die, it's because of sin. That's why we can't live forever. Now, before Adam and Eve sinned, they were able to live forever. You know what I mean? They were able to live and not die because they didn't sin yet. But once sin entered, then death entered. And that's why we all have to die. You know what I mean? That's why we can't live forever. So basically, Adam and Eve are, the reason why we have to suffer in different ways. Eve's the reason why we have periods, and both of them, ultimately are the reason why we die. So yeah, I know it's kind of like crazy and like sad in a way, but it's the truth. So it's very sad, but it's the truth. Everything's in the Bible. Like, the Bible is the blueprint of life, and there are a lot of people who think it's made up, who think it's, false or a fairy tale, but that's on you. I mean, all the answers to life that you may have are in the Bible. Like, I was really just thinking one day, like, why do we have periods? And then as I was reading the Bible, I mean, I discovered this a long time ago, but I just wanted to make a video about it because certain people do, have questions about us, but all of this leads back to the Bible. Everything is spiritual, So yes, I was just reading this and that revelation came to me. It's because of Adam and Eve. It's because of Adam and Eve. So Genesis is definitely a very powerful, book in the Bible. It's very powerful, and there's so many different answers and messages to get out of Genesis. But yeah, that's the reason why females have periods, and also too why we die and why we can't live forever. So I hope that you all enjoyed this video, and you all received it in your spirit. It's just unfortunate that us females have to suffer because of Eve, but it's the reality of it. Sin, sin is the reason why, almost everything happens to us. That is why females have periods. All this is outlined in Genesis 3. You can read it for yourself. But I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope you all have a blessed day.